Beautiful people, so good to be here. Welcome to the 3-day website creation challenge, day number 1. Today, we are going to do fabulous things in phase 1, which is the planning phase. So in 3 days, plan, create, and launch your website. And a little bit to myself before I start. So my name is Christian. Fabulous to meet you. I am the owner of Love Pixel Agency, and it's such an honor to serve you and creating your brand and extending your message as I do so with so many other people and clients around the world. And it's so wonderful to always see what they come up with and how they want to, create and express themselves. So it's really, really cool to be here and do this. And I have just a big passion for teaching, whether that's, web design or something else. I just love to share my knowledge and be there for you. And that's my story. And I'm originally from Germany, moved 2 years ago to Los Angeles, married, have a baby, and was before worked at Google, then was a digital nomad and decided to, well, I kind of like wanted to be an entrepreneur and be like work by myself, be my own boss, and just be independent, as an entrepreneur. So I was like, well, let me, start an agency and help people, bring their messages to life, and doing that with all, in the ways of beauty, design, and with a lot of love. That's why it's called Love Pixel, and our mission is to make love tangible. And I hope I can do that for you with our website creation challenge. And so I've created this day-to-day workbook for you to follow along, which is, very simple. There's all the resources you need are in there just in case you get lost or you want to refer to something that I mentioned. You're going to find everything in here. And the other thing you're going to need is this little website creation roadmap right here. And I've created these 3 phases because I think that these 3 phases are the essential phases that I go through as a web designer and creating a website. So we have the planning phase, which consists of website concept, branding, content, and hosting, like setting up the hosting domain, that the whole hosting environment. And the second phase is the creation phase, where we go into designing, we install our theme, our layout, WordPress, or depending, whatever system you use, text images, as well as designing those elements. And then phase 3 is the launch phase, where we go into a little bit into search engine optimization, analytics, because I feel you want to have that installed once you launch a legit website. It's not mandatory, but it's definitely helpful also down the road, so you know how many visitors, who's on my site, maybe installing a Facebook pixel, running Facebook ads down the road. Performance, very important topic if you host it on WordPress. If you host it somewhere else like Wix, Weebly, or Squarespace, they have all that kind of figured out, so you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff too much. And then we have review testing, which is the last step before you launch it. And so today, day 1, we're gonna go talk all about planning. So first, before you go online and do all crazy stuff and throw stuff on the website, I'm a big fan of just like planning out your website. And so let's open up our workbook, and on the first page you will find the website concept. So how many pages does your website have? What sections and content is on which pages? And it is super, super helpful to draw it out on paper. And I cannot stress this enough, because people always ask me, and like, I get so confused, and what should I keep on the home page and the about page and this and this and this. So literally draw it out on a piece of paper before you start with the whole online thing, because that's going to help you keep a sane mind and not go too crazy. You can still move things around later. Like, don't worry about that. It's super easy the way we're going to do it. And so yeah, that's basically it. Also think about, like, what are the results your website will bring you? Like, what is this website for? Is it a portfolio website just to showcase something? Is it supposed to build an email list? Do you want to have an email opt-in on that website? And what is kind of like the goal of having this website online? So for you to, build an audience, or for you to land clients, get leads, all these kinds of things are good to know beforehand, obviously. And we at Love Pixel Agency, we do a lot of personal brands, so authors, speakers, influencers. So we have a lot of persons, but you can sell products, all kinds of different things, and the same principles are going to apply here too. Just keep it consistent, keep it driven towards the results that you want to get, and you're going to get those results. Very simple. So let's get started. Day number 1, which is the website concept. You want to know how many pages you want per page. In this example, and what we're going to do over the course of these 3 days, we're going to build a yoga teacher website just for the sake of this challenge. And we're going to go through like the home, about, service. It's going to have a blog and a contact page. And we're just going to write out like which sections are going to be on which page for a yoga teacher website. And you can do that for your website, whoever you are, or whatever your product is, your service are, whoever you are, and what the website is that you want to create. So there is a little magic to building websites. Well, not necessarily. You can do whatever you like, but it's kind of like what I found helpful. So it's called the Conversion Optimized Website Layout. And just years that I've website for people, brands, products, I've just come up with a little structure that helps you to put, I guess, the sections and contents on a website. And it starts with a header. Oops, let me go here. Header, social proof, mission, about, what you offer, numbers, social media, customer reviews, and you have how it works, what you can expect. Pricing is optional. If you don't have any products on your page, that's fine. And a final call to action, as well as a footer. We're gonna work this out in depth when we build the website, but this is just good for you to know what kind of sections we can put on a home page or an about page. And for me, a homepage is often kind of like a quick overview of who you are. You feature kind of like the header features an image of you with a description, a headline. This is yoga teacher, and then the subheadline will be healing your body, mind, and spirit in 8 weeks, for example, whatever. So then you want to show some social proof logos, because it's always important to establish trust and credibility with your visitors, because they most of the time don't know who you are, and so it helps to have that on there, because they just think, oh, cool, this yoga girl has worked at Yoga Core or Core Power, or I don't know, been at this yoga expo. So all that helps to kind of establish your authority. And then you want to introduce yourself with mission and about. Just write, who you are, what you're doing, and why you're doing it. These are always like very powerful kind of like cliffhangers where you can start to develop a brand narrative and a personal story. And then you want to introduce what you offer. So for yoga teacher, maybe she offers not only yoga classes, but maybe Reiki or different, things, services, or even products. You can also kind of like feature a product section there, or you can feature products later down the road or down the page. Yeah, so I can walk through all of these, but I feel we're going to dive into that once we build the website. Customer reviews, how it works section is always helpful because people like to know, okay, well, what am I doing on this website? How it works, what works, how you work, maybe how does it work working with you? How does it work buying your product, or why is your product, I don't know, what's the kind of like benefit of your product? So how does it work? Kind of like, read my ebook, subscribe to the email list, and then get a free coaching or something like that. Or how it works could also be do my yoga class, get a free Reiki healing, and then come on a retreat with me, or something like that, that just quickly kind of like takes the user by the hand and shows him what's possible with you, or kind of like how it is easy to get started with you. That is kind of like the how it works section. What people can expect, because since people don't know you, they want to know like, okay, well, what can I expect from this person? So if you have a little section that talks about what you can expect, that's always great. For example, on my website, it says that we have a 24/7 WhatsApp customer support line available. If you have any issues with your website, just, text us and we're gonna, respond as soon as we can. Pricing, self-explanatory. And final call to action, for that one, I just want to say, it's always good to have that at the bottom of the website, because especially with people scrolling and smartphones, it's helpful to have something at the bottom, because people either at the top or the bottom are going to see that and end with that. So that's going to stick in their mind. So you want to have maximum like one call to action on the entire page, unless it's the homepage. Homepage can have different things. For example, the about button can link out to the about page. What I offer can link out to the services page. But on other pages, you want to keep it consistent and as little call to actions as possible, because that's going to deter from just your interaction and engagement with users. They don't know, oh, should I go here or should I go there? But if you have only one button and one link where that button goes, they can only go one way, which is where you want to go, where you want to have them go. Here's some examples. These are all websites that we've built. They're not exactly the same structure, but it gives you kind of like a rough orientation of what you can put on your websites, and it's just good to have a look through these websites and to get an idea of what you want to put on yours. And then also, last thing I want to mention for the conversion optimized website layout, it's all about design, and branding is all about, or in general, marketing is all about just, one sentence that you can sum up marketing with is, you want to be able that people come to you and say, thank you, Christian, that improved my life. If somebody says that to you, you have been successful. Period. That's just, I've gotten it so rarely in my life that somebody really said, wow, Christian, that improved my life. And a challenge program, whatnot, improves your life, because if it doesn't, you probably shouldn't be here and I shouldn't be here, right? So with that said, it's always fun and great to have some sort of surprise effect on the website, which is, for example, here, the logo can be animated. If you go to lovepixelagency.com, I'm going to post a link in the comment of the live stream below. If you have that in maybe an animated logo or something that's, that you don't see everywhere, that's always helpful, because people are like, wow, it's like, ooh, never seen that. And then the menu can be animated when you hover over it with your mouse. It can be maybe, draw out a line. And I'm going to give you all like tips and tricks for that once we go into the design and execution of that. But this is just for you to know, like, you want to have something in the navigation bar. That's why I wrote it here in the menu navigation bar, that wows the user. Something animated, something you don't have to. Obviously, it's just, it's playful, but that definitely lets you stand out, because nobody does that. Everybody just puts a static logo there, static menu, boring. And so it's good to kind of stick out of the crowd a little bit. And here we have, footer. So footer, you can also have a wow effect. I, for example, have a pulsing heart in my footer because we're Love Pixel Agency, and we want to bring the love. right? So that's it for the conversion optimized website layout. Always here for your reference. Feel free to look at our website, lovepixelagency.com, where you see the wow effect in the logo and the top menu bar and also in the footer. And to animate a logo, listen, I'm not a pro at animation. I just go to Fiverr.com, and for like, I think $10, you just tell them what you want. You want, like, you work out your logo, which we're gonna do in this class, in this challenge, and then you send the logo to this Fiverr guy, and he animates it. And you just tell him, I want the letters kind of to appear from left to right, top to bottom, and whatnot. So you can do all that down the road. Just so you know. Just so you know. Okay. And then another part, which is the second part, which is branding and content of the planning phase. So today we want to choose, what's our brand? Like, what's our brand? What's our message? Which colors go with that? Which fonts, am I more a subtle kind of like font guy? For a yoga teacher, for example, I'm going to use a font that is more subtle, handwritten, paired with a font that is clear and crisp, because if you just use handwritten, it's just too confusing for the eye. So sometimes you want to pair fonts, but you don't have to. You can just one font, just don't use only handwritten. I think that looks a little bit too much, but totally up to you. You want to choose your colors, which you have your links in the PDFs for that. Download the PDF. You can just click on the link, and it directs you to the color page. And I'm just gonna switch in screen sharing mode in a minute, and then we're gonna do this together and I show you around the tools a little bit. It's gonna be fun. So as far as the logo is concerned, plenty of options there. What you can do, you can use logomaker.com, is free. Canva is free. Canva is like Photoshop, but it's easier to use. So if you don't know how to use Photoshop, then you can just go to canva.com. I'm going to use Photoshop and show you the other tools so you know how they look. But if I, for example, do some image editing, I will do that in Photoshop because I'm much quicker. But you can probably do the same thing in Canva. Create your favicon. What is a favicon? A favicon is a little icon on top of the browser that is just, shows you in your tab what is the site. For example, the Facebook, icon, a little favicon. We're going to create that. That's super easy to do. And then here's a bunch of resources for logo, background shapes, if you need anything like that. Also for colors, as well as stock images, icons, whatever you need. Like the whole palette to be a designer. You got it. And so yeah. And then after that, we'll show you around a second. We're gonna look into hosting, domain, and email. We're going to choose our domain. Most of you have your domain and even hosting already, because I did a little Google form where I asked you guys if you have the hosting and domain already set up. Some of you have, some of you don't. But I will definitely hosting company. Here I can just say, cheaper is not always better. I'm going to use a cheap plan for this challenge because I know most of you won't need a professional website plan, but if you plan on, speeding up your website, or you want to have, more of an extensive website, you have multiple users or membership site, all that kind of stuff later, you might want to consider to upgrade your web hosting plan. And also, if your website is slow for whatever reason, hosting is the number one reason what you should change. So a lot of people, build their sites, and then they have, sometimes they even have things optimized like images and they're not too big, but then it's still slow and they're wondering why. Well, it's the hosting. So if you're in a cheap hosting environment, don't expect too much speed. Very simple answer. Email, people want their with their domain. So if my name is Christian Maurer, I want to have the domain info@christianmaurer.com. I'm going to show you how to set that up in your hosting account. In my case with HostGator, because I'm already with them. And these are kind of like the best 3 hosting platforms that I've worked with and found. HostGator, super cheap. fast enough for pretty much anything you do, unless you have a more high traffic site. Fast comment is a little bit more solid, a little bit faster. And then SiteGround is, I think, starts at like $10 a month, but then the second year is $20 a month, something like that. You have to look at the prices. But that one is definitely the most professional plan. I mean, you can even go more professional. I'm not saying you can't, but for us as beginners, or whoever, whatever you want to do with your website, these three are pretty solid, and you can still upgrade later. So wouldn't worry about that too much. Don't go to GoDaddy. I don't like GoDaddy because they later, if you want to have your own email, like here, set up your own email, that charge you $5 for an email account, which I think is ridiculous, because with all other hosters, it's free. Maybe not all other hosters, but like I would say 95% of other hosting companies don't charge for having an email account. I think it's just ridiculous how GoDaddy has this cooperation with Outlook, and oh my God, stupid. So I'm not a fan of GoDaddy, which you can have your domain at GoDaddy, but I wouldn't have hosting with GoDaddy. If you have it, fine, keep it. It's a little bit of a hassle to change, but if you don't have it yet, I wouldn't recommend GoDaddy for sure. I don't like it at all. My wife has it, don't like it. So yeah, that's all for the planning phase. So now I'm gonna do a little screen share, and I'm gonna walk you through the branding assets. We're gonna create our colors. We're gonna choose our fonts. We're gonna create a little logo and our favicon. And also, just for you to know, the website concept. So what sections goes on which page? That one is your homework. So I have a little list for you. I'm gonna write down as a homework, which you can do, or which you have to do. But yeah, just do in your own pace. But you just you determine the rapidity of your success, and when you finish, there's no rush. But if you want to get done in 3 days, you gotta do something. All right, let me share the screen. Let me share the screen. Okay. See less. Victoria says, is this worksheet available? Yes, this worksheet is available. Sorry, I just read your comment now. I have this description expanded. You can find it here. One second. You can find it in the Google Drive folder. Let me post this video. Let me post the Google Drive folder here. And then I gotta figure out how to share a screen here. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, link is posted. Facebook screen sharing. Okay. All right, give me a minute to pull up the screen share, and then we're gonna get started. So I'm gonna have to start a new live stream for the screen share, and that's what I will do now. I'll see you in a minute. Peace.